Hey Zen friends, welcome to the 5th quest video for 2025. Can you believe it is May already? Zoom, zoom, zoom. This year is a-flowin'. And if this is your first quest video that you're watching, welcome. These videos and pretty much everything else I post weekly, monthly, and quarterly this year is all about our quest for the 5 in 2025. The quest for the 5 elements. Because each of these quest videos does build upon each other, I highly encourage you to check out the first 4 quest videos as they provide some great foundational information, especially for the elemental spirit guides. Links for the quest playlist are listed in the description box of this video down below and will appear at the end of this video as well. This ultimate quest leads us to the Ethereal, which is our connection to the spirit world. It's the only stable thing in this realm and is the only thing that can bring us true contentment. We come here to experience the opposite of who we really are, and part of that journey is eventually returning to the full awareness of who we really are, whether that be while we're a human character in this lifetime or when we return fully as a spiritual being after we're done with this life as this human character. The first 5 of these quest videos focus on each of the 5 elements. January, we looked into the air element. February, water. March, we went into the earth element. April, last month, was the fire element. So we'll finish up the introduction to the 5 elements today with the ethereal, and then continue to expand our adventure in June, chatting about ritual and how to make mindfulness a habit. I'm excited. The second half of each of these first 5 videos are focused on our 4 elemental spirit guides and our 5th elemental ethereal spirit guide, also known as our guardian angel. And we talk about how you can get to know and connect with your own elemental spirit guides. If you watched the last video, how was it getting to know your fire elemental spirit guide? I'd love to hear about it. You can comment on this or the last video, or if you'd rather not share publicly, I get it, you can email me too at bradazen@gmail.com. My email is always listed in the description box of the video toward the bottom. I've been purposely waiting until the following videos to talk about my own elemental guides from each video so that you can have a pure experience with your own elemental guide without the influence of my stories. So now that it's been probably about a month since the last video, I'll start off today talking about my own fire elemental spirit guide to provide some perspective on how they can assist us in our physical experience with that outside world and how we can interact with them. I won't take up too much time on this so we can get into the ethereal element energy. In the first 2 quest videos, I've mentioned how I was introduced to my 4 elemental spirit guides. So if you haven't checked those out, I encourage you to listen to them for more information on connecting to your elemental guides. I've mentioned that our connection between us and our elemental spirit guides can be as a collective. And what I mean by that is that a part of our soul can be a member of a starseed collective in a star system far from us, or existing as part of a spiritual collective of some sort, while also experiencing life as this human character at the same time. Really, we're experiencing many different lifetimes of existences all at the same time, but our human mind is shielded from them. And from our perception, we're just experiencing this one lifetime right here, right now, one at a time. You know, the human mind can only process so much information at a moment, so it is best for our experience not to have our brain explode with too information, right? Now, as I connect more and more with the spirit beings on the other side, the more I've realized that when we're vibrating at higher dimensions, we don't want to be disconnected and on our own. we're always part of different collectives experiencing different things together. And ultimately, we are all members of one large, huge, singular collective. A collective of collectives, you might say. Unity does make sense when it comes to unconditional love. Now, my fire elemental spirit guide is part of the Phoenix collective of Sirius B, which is a sub-collective of the larger Sirian starseed collective. And they come to me quite often as a phoenix, but also as a giant star, and with connection to our sun. They have me call them Nix, short for Phoenix, because it's more informal, and that is the kind of relationship we have with our spirit guides of all kinds. We are friends. We are equals. And they did take me on a journey last July in 2024 in one of my pilgrimage meditations that I did, and they took us across space to their home out there in Sirius B, and they shared how they came to be a collective. So if you're interested, I have linked that video in the description box below if you want to experience that adventure as well. I recently read a great book by Sarah Landon called You Are a Channel, where she speaks of automatic writing. So early March, I began channeling different spiritual beings and collectives as a way to expand my own adventure. One of the channeling sessions was from this Phoenix collective, and I'd like to share with you now, as they do bring through some information regarding use of our energy, which is what our fire elemental helps us with. So this is the channeling session from March 13th of 2025. They start right off saying, "Fire in the hole," and then they laugh. "Buckle up, Buttercup. Things are getting more and more interesting on this planet of yours. There is a great energy moving among your collective, a transformational energy, supported and amplified by the planetary energies of your solar system and supported by many collectives across the universe. The grand experiment of low vibrational power of choice, with such contrasting choices, is coming to a head, a fork in the road, where some are willing to take the lower vibrational road for the sake of the experiments, and others, many others, who will take the high road of higher vibration to bring balance to the experiment. All are light workers, though some are, quote, dimmer than others." Ha! And they laughed again. On purpose, of course, for the purpose of contrast and for the drama. As in your movies on Earth, they are more exciting when there is a nemesis, a challenger, a villain. Dun, dun, dun. But alas, they are actors made of unconditional love, playing a very difficult part. You can send them appreciation by sending them unconditional love. They can always use the encouragement. Today, a climax of Virgo full moon energy with an amazing portal of lunar eclipse energy allows you to release a flood of lower vibrational emotional energy that is stagnant in your subconscious and isn't really charged anymore. It's more or less taking up emotional space that can be repurposed and redecorated into higher vibrational emotional energy, which can give you more capacity to connect even more clearly to the higher realms. Not all emotions have to be shadow worked to death to transform them. Sometimes you can take advantage of moon energy to integrate and move emotional energy to a new location, which preserves the emotional experience. We wouldn't want a good drama to go to waste, but it is also allows the space to be used for something new. You can think of it like using the cloud, an external drive, or like a USB drive to move pictures off your computer so you're not using the memory on your computer, which can slow down how fast it processes, and you receive warnings about your memory running out of space. The Aries energy of the spring-fall equinox is also adding to the ending, new beginning energy, as well as all the Aquarius, Pisces, Neptune, Pluto energy, and so much more. It's a year of movement and change, and the members of the universe are excited to see what we choose to do with it all. Of course, the Earth Collective has a large portion of the decision-making, but every human character has a ton of support and, quote, advisors chatting them up about possibilities and speaking more loudly than ever to be heard over all the lower vibrational fear noise. It's very important during this time to prioritize the focus of your own energy, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and ethereal, on raising your own frequency. Investing energy into trying to change others' minds is a waste of your energy right now, and usually is. Those in lower vibrational fear can't and won't listen to words, but they will feel higher vibrational love. The more you raise your own love vibration, the larger the impact you'll have on the Earth Collective. Use the moon energies to clear the clogs from your emotional pipeline. Full moon and new moon energy is perfect for this, as you release the old on a full moon and plant the new seeds of unconditional love on the new moon. Eclipses offer huge leaps and growth, so take advantage of the super expansiveness of that energy a couple of times each year, especially this year. Prioritize moon energy. Eclipses number 1, full moon and new moon energy number 2, waxing, waning, quarter, and three-quarter moons number 3, and then daily moon energy number 4. Water moons for emotional awareness, earth moons for physical transformation to align with the spiritual, fire moon to ignite interdimensional transformation of all energies, and air moons to connect the higher wisdom and communicate with higher realms. Adjust your antenna. Are you still buckled up, or have you grabbed a parachute and jumped off? Ha, they laugh again. You got this. You're not alone. You are loved. You are lovely. You are love. You are eternal and powerful. There's so much excitement around this time on Earth. It's attracted a crowd. There's so much opportunity and possibility. You came here for a time such as this. You were born specifically for a time such as this. Hooray! We're always here for you. Just ask. We love you. We love you. We love you. Wow. Oh my goodness. I so love rereading all of these messages that we receive from the spirit realm. We are indeed so blessed. We're never alone. So I hope that helps a little in getting to know your own fire elemental. And as I mentioned earlier, I'd love to hear about your experiences that you have had. So, all right, I'm so excited to move into the ethereal element. So let's jump in. We've looked at all 4 of the elemental energies of the 4 different areas of the human experience. You know, the air of the mental world, the water of the emotional world, the fire of the energetic world, and the earth of the physical world. All of those help us with the adventure of our human character. And that is important. We experience these lives as human characters on purpose. But we're so much more than these human characters. We are powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love. We have many different existences, as many different expressions of beings through which we learn more about who we really are. You know, we are explorers. And every human character is granted those 4 elemental spirit guides in each lifetime to help us in those 4 different areas of our human lives. At our creation as a soul, we were also gifted a guardian angel who chose to be created right at the same time as we were, to be our companion for our entire existence. They are God in an angel, I'm calling it a guardian angel. And as I began to work on the information for this video, when I was in meditation and channeling through automatic writing, my guardian angel came through, and they provided some amazing perspective on who angels are, including guardian angels. So let's begin by sharing their channeled message. All right, so this is their channeled message from April 16th of 2025, and I just started off asking them, what would you like me to know today? And their answer was, I am always with you, always have been, always will be. I came into form at the exact moment you did as a soul. We are both expressions of the Creator, but different. You are more individualized, more unique, not so much more separate, but less defined, less structured, if that makes sense. I am the Creator in the form of a friend, a best friend, a buddy. Creator wanted you to experience them as mother, father, a parental relationship, authoritative and powerful and nurturing, but also as an only child with a Trinity type relationship. They also wanted you to have a more casual, trusting, intimate relationship with them as a friend, a confidant, someone you knew you could tell anything to without judgment or concern about their opinion changing. They, of course, knew that as God, many characters would spread rumors of a judgmental, condemning God, which is not true, but they knew it would take time to get to know them as a compassionate God who is unconditionally loving, someone who sees us as perfect, zero conditions, nothing you have to do to earn their love, and nothing you can do to lose it. You are all explorers, discovering the depth of the Creator's love as a recipient of that love, as an expression of that love because you're made of it, and as a giver of that love to other creations and yourself. Deep, I know. And then they laughed. Your higher self and I are intertwined, kind of like a giant yin-yang, but the edges are very blurry, like a painting whose colors have run together, not exactly sure where one ends and the other begins. I am the main conduit through which the Creator experiences your lives, like an extremely long cable and Wi-Fi. And they laughed again. Creator experiences you as and through other entities, such as archangels and angels, and other souls through the guardian angels. But that is from a bit more of an outside view in comparison to the intimate view they have through me. It can feel odd calling myself me or using the word myself because I've never experienced feeling separate except for feeling your feelings when you choose lower vibrational characters who are able to experience that viewpoint. Like the Matrix movies, we are entities that run independently like the programs, but are always a part of the code, more defined, more directly structured, and we know no difference. Like fingers on a hand, we don't want to be severed because we enjoy being the hand of God holding your hand. Archangels and angels are similar expressions, the first being a hand and the latter being fingers. Archangels are like individual characters representing characteristics or personalities of the Creator. As elemental run different parts of human characters' lives, archangels are like department heads who organize, handle, and report on what's going on in different parts of creation. Angels are like employees, more like happy volunteers that have taken on assignments under the archangels. Things are very organized so that other expressions of Creator can enjoy being free agents, wandering around exploring. Don't feel bad for any expression. No one is under oppression or we're forced into the expression we are. We can return to the void, the vast sea of creator, and become something different if we want to. But at higher vibration, we are all one anywho, being able to experience everything and anything the other expressions are experiencing. So what would be the point? Yes, you experience things more intensely being in that form, but if Creator is already experiencing that as you, why would I need to also experience it separately? All right, that's enough to sit with for now, eh? Enjoy the freedom of being uniquely you, little one. I love you. I love you. I love you. Wow, right? What a beautiful and informative message. I just get blown away every time I channel any of the beings from the other side. And if that were not amazing enough, I was also nudged to pull a card from the Gateway Oracle cards from Denise Linn and received the Receiving from Angels card. You can't make it up. The message that comes with the card is shimmering wings of angels embrace me with love. And the card meaning says, blessings from above are showering over your life. Angels are real and their presence is near. They are only a thought away. Messengers from the Creator, they come to you with immense blessings and love. All is well. Spread your wings and soar. And then they have a little portion. The universe wants you to know, angels are watching over you. They love you and deeply and profoundly. So be still and open your heart to their wisdom and healing. They will come to you in soft breezes, rainbows, and feathers that seem to magically appear. These signs let you know that you are going in the right direction and that all is unfolding exactly as it should. The angelic energy within you is expanding. Know that you are an angelic healing for others. Questions you can ask yourself: how can I access the angelic energy within me? What is the most important thing that my angels want me to know? How can I accept and receive even more from the angelic realm? Wow. Shazam, right? It's like they want to talk to us or something. Creation. What I've learned about guardian angels through spirit is a bit different than a lot of mainstream beliefs around them, but it makes a lot of sense to my human mind, especially with what spirit has shown me about our creation at our origins. I shared that experience in detail in one of my U×2 videos that I'll link in the description box of this video if you want to hear the full story. But the short of it is that we are an extension of the Creator, like the tip of our little pinky finger is part of us, if our pinky fingers had eyes looking back at us to give us a viewpoint of ourselves. You know, the Creator vibrates at the highest vibration of unconditional love possible. And for us to exist outside the Creator, we had to vibrate lower than them, or we'd just join back together with them. There are many levels of lower vibration that we exist within, and these levels can form what some would call universes. The individual universes are created because they differentiate enough from other universes that they kind of pocket themselves away from the others, in a way like kind of a rainbow has distinct colors, but they kind of blend at the edges, right? And within each universe, there can also be multiple dimensions of existence that are close enough in vibration that they're drawn into the same universe. This human physical universe is thought to be among the lowest vibrating of all the universes. Think of it maybe like a thermometer. At the very top is the hottest temperature, and at the bottom, the lowest temperature. There isn't judgment around where on the thermometer things are. They are all experiences we want to have, and all the universes are tightly connected that they do not feel separated from each other, or they don't feel like distance. Distance is a human experience we only have in this dimension, where we pretend to be separated from the rest. Within the human universe, there are many levels of vibration, which is where we've come up with the term dimensions. The human side of us loves to define things in order to determine where we are at on the scale of things, on the scale of lovability, on the scale of acceptability. You can think of the highest vibrating dimensions in our realm as the spiritual. The higher we go within them, the closer we are to becoming part of the multiverses that are out there that we're already experiencing as our super higher self. The lower we descend in vibration, we experience other existences like being animals, plants and trees, elements like rock and gases, etc. And we even experiences ourselves on the atomic level as atoms. I know all of this can be a bit hard to imagine or grasp with our human brains, but let it simmer for a while. And then if you really want to blow your mind, we can even try to comprehend that we also exist in all of the universes all at once. And technically within this physical realm, we can exist at all levels of vibration at the same time too. It's just that our perception of time as humans allows us to experience humanity as if we are experiencing it independently from the rest, blocked off and unaware of our higher selves existing in all the other dimensions in this plane and all the other universes. So as my guardian angel mentioned in their channeling, their existence is a little different from ours, even though they are all around us, having experiences along with us, guiding us, supporting us, laughing with us, enjoying the adventures like puppies in the backseat, excited for wherever we go with our quests. And like many collectives of souls at higher vibrations, they have less of a sense of separateness and seeking to know oneself like we do as higher vibrational souls. It is like our purpose is to explore and understand ourselves and our relationship to the Creator and ourselves. And we obtain that through experiencing different things outside of our self. Angelic beings or souls have a purpose that is more about support, watching, gathering, and recording information and sending it back to the amazing mind of the Creator for analysis and understanding. The Creator is already all-knowing, like it's a part of what they are, right? But we bring them different viewpoints, which brings clearer understanding, support, and validation of what they know. It'd be like they know that thing over there is a mountain, but we become little satellites and explore all over the mountain, sending back perceptions from all sorts of levels and altitudes to give a more detailed map of that mountain. So I hope that makes sense. It does somewhat in my mind. So what is ethereal energy? Now, ethereal energy is commonly defined as like a form of energy that is subtle. It's not considered material or made of physical matter, and it's often associated with higher planes of existence or spiritual realms. So it's distinct from the physical, tangible energies we interact with daily. It's not bound by the limitations of the physical world. It's considered a more like refined and less dense form of energy, often described as light or spirit. In many metaphysical and spiritual systems, ethereal energy is linked to the soul, the spirit, or higher aspects of consciousness. Now, the way that spirit has shown ethereal energy to me is more as an essence of the Creator themselves. It is the essence of unconditional love. It's what we're all made of, what every universe and every existence is made of. When we magnify or look at the deepest expression of what something is, like at a sort of atomic level, we will eventually see that everything is made of this essence. Things just vibrate at different levels to obtain different form. And the lower the vibration, making things the densest or hardest or most solid. And as I talk about the quest for the 5 elements, this quest for the ethereal is a quest to remember who we really are and to understand more of what we are by experiencing what we are not. So everything leads back to the upper realms, to the ether, to the ethereal. In this year of quests, we've met all the 4 horses and knights of the tarot, which were all on their quest to obtain the ace of their suit. And I talk about that in each of those videos. With this 5th element of the ethereal, we don't have a suit to look toward, but we do have the major arcana that represent the bigger picture, the bigger story, and the bigger adventure of humanity. They also represent events that are life-changing or altering, bringing the focus to the subconscious, the eternal, spirit, human life transformation, right? So there are 4 horses. So there's 4 horses in the minor arcana, all those individual 4, but there are 4 horses that appear in the major arcana. The first is the Chariot, card number 7. And though they're pictured as sphinxes, they are in the place in front of the chariot as horses, and they're one is black and one is white. Now, the Chariot card represents the power of choice that we have each moment between lower vibration, the dark, and the higher vibration, the light. There is no right path, because if you want to move through life, the successful path will be the one where you have understanding and working with both our shadow and our higher self as they work together, not pitting them against one another. And then we jump to number 13, the Death card. So you have the skeleton Grim Reaper in a suit of armor riding the white horse. And that represents death and rebirth, reincarnation, multiple lifetimes, and transformation. And then we go to the Sun card, number 19. The little human child riding the white horse, with the giant sun representing freedom of our inner child from the walls that were built around them, and a feeling that anything is possible. And this is one of the cards representing abundance. It's interesting when you go from 7 to 13 to 19, they all are exactly 6 cards from each other. And in numerology, the number 6 is the embodiment of the heart, sometimes the mother card. But it represents, of all things, unconditional love, right? The ethereal. So cool. Over the previous 4 quest videos, we have covered each of the 4 horsemen of the minor arcana and their individual quests for the wand, the pentacle, the cup, and the sword that have to deal with the 4 major areas of a human adventure: the passion, the physical, the emotional, and the mental. And every quest of theirs, though, ends in the discovery that the external world is temporary and unstable, all designed to eventually turn us inward, where we find the only eternal stable thing in any realm, the eternal unconditional love of the higher realm that we find in our own hearts. We find that the Ace of Wands gives us a choice between higher and lower energies, which neither are right or wrong. They just feel different, bring us different results and experiences. But because at our core, we are higher vibrational beings, we do feel more comfortable with higher vibrational things coming into our lives. The Ace of Pentacles shows us a new way of looking at our worth in relationship to the outside world. Instead of defining ourselves by an unstable opinion from others, which I call a retail price, we find our true worth, our pricelessness, when we turn inward and upward. The chalice, the Ace of Cups, allows us to find true happiness as we fill up with the love from above and overflow. All of the aces end up turning our perception from a place of lack when we look to the outside world to fill us up, to find it lacking and falling short, only to have Spirit show us that we have everything we need inside of us. And once we fill up with that life force from within, we will, fill up and let it overflow out to the world. Anything anyone gives us then is above and beyond extra. So we move from a place of lack to a place of abundance. And then the Ace of Swords, that gives us the gift of seeing things from above, which allows a new story, a higher story of unconditional love and capital T truths that sets our minds free. The quest of our soul is to discover more about who we are by experiencing many different expressions of ourselves as humans in multiple lifetimes, and as different elements and animals and plants upon the earth, and also as many different things and beings across many universes, dimensions, and frequencies. It's unlimited. We are unlimited. We are perfect mountains, not needing to become anything better. We're discovering more about who we are in all of these expressions, which allows us to expand ourselves. But there's nothing wrong with us. We are perfect in the sight of Creator and Spirit. It's what the journey of the major arcana of tarot is, the journey of the soul through this human experience. We start with the Fool card, which is like the soul that's getting ready to leap into humanity, seeing what possibilities lie ahead with what form it takes. In a way, I look at it like a soul determining which life it wants, the possibilities of living by being born to a certain couple at a certain time in a certain location, like astrology. And then zap! The spark begins with the magician, the action of the divine masculine energy, leading to the high priestess, divine feminine energy of the chalice, receiving from the divine masculine, which then leads to the birthing through the empress into the nurturing world. And then we get introduced to the leader and instiller of societal roles, the emperor, followed by the leader and instiller of organized religion and spirituality, the number 5 hierophant, which takes us into the captivity of the mind and rules until we reach the number 6 lovers card. The first time we're tempted, like Romeo and Juliet at an early age, right, to go against the rules for the sake of love. And that takes us to the Chariot, number 7, the power of choice card we talked about earlier. We realize we don't have to listen to all those small T truths rooted in fear that were opinions of everyone else about how life should be lived. But we found our heart, and now we're beginning to question and choose differently. We step into a new level with the number 8 strength card and discover a new relationship with our higher selves. We realize we are more than just this human character. The lion represents our human character, and the maiden, our higher selves. We have the little infinity symbol, signifying that for us above her head or usually on her body somewhere. We turn inward with the hermit, allowing the lantern with the star in it, which is also an indicator of our higher self in the spirit realm. And the darkness being illuminated by that lantern and new understanding coming to us. We go to number 10, the Wheel of Fortune, and it moves, bringing awareness in our fixed ways and realizing that even we can't see it in the moment, that everything does unfold for us. The tune of for you, the for tune. We move to the Justice card, number 11, which we balance our thinking with the gleaning from the Ace of Swords that we get, seeing things from the viewpoint of the capital T truths of the higher realm, and we remove small t truths rooted in fear. We climb up into the tree and make the sacrifice like Odin did, the number 12 of the hanged man. You can see the man hanging upside down from the tree like Odin did. Odin sacrificed an eye and sacrificed his viewpoint to see things from that different, higher perspective. But this does take us into the death and rebirth card, the ending of the old ways and then transformation into the new, trusting the timing of the temperance card, which comes next, the alchemy of the two cups going back and forth, trusting that in the perfect timing, the magic of the cups turns the base metal into gold. So the first 7 cards, without the full card, represent our journey as the human character, right? 1 through 7. The second 7 cards represent our journey discovering our higher self. And then the last 7 represent the integration of both together, where we don't try to destroy our ego, shadow self, but allow our higher self to complete it. So it starts with the Devil card, number 15, which is a dark mirror of the Lover's card. You can see instead of an angel, it's the devil, but you still see 2 lovers. This time they're in chains. But if you look closely, you can see that those chains around the individual's necks is very loose, where they can just lift it over their head and escape the clutches of their perceived imprisonment. The shadow does its job in showing us our beliefs and emotions that no longer serve us, so that we can be freed from our perceptions that limit us. The tower comes next, and it comes in to help remove the things out of our lives that no longer serve us, revealing next the light of the star card, hope, the bright star in the dark sky that we are on Earth. It shows us that we can exist both as that star in the sky and the human on the ground. But this Aquarius energy of this card, you can see the water bearer, it's about sharing that awareness with the world, pouring out the waters onto the land and the mind, and into the waters of emotion and spirit. And then we move into the moon, which brings in revelations, reflection, drawing our attention to the things deep within us. And then the sun shines a bright light on all areas of our lives, including our inner child shown riding the white horse. We are called to see things higher, and we receive our, quote, calling from the angel in the judgment card who is calling us with their horn, their trumpet, to rise from the dead end pursuits of feeling fulfilled in the outside world, which we really don't, but we think we'll find it out there. And rather, we turn inward to discover our heart's dream. It fills us up with that love, and then we let it flow out to the world in our own special, unique way, ending the major arcana with the World card, a victory, the wreath, the ending of a cycle, and the beginning of a whole new adventure. One, a new one in some way, somehow, somewhere, that we move into a different perspective, a different level. Life really is so simple, right? But our human adventure, it likes to complicate things by comparison and becoming confused by so many different ways of looking at things and demanding that our way is the only way, right? Yay! I love the analogy Spirit gave me of when we're growing up, others hand us like these wet paper mache strips and tell us, this is the way things are, so slap that baby on yourself. So we do. We don't know any better. People keep giving us more and more of these little wet strips and keep slapping them on ourselves. And before we realize it, we're these giant paper mache mummies. And when it dries, we look like someone who isn't like one of those body cast after like someone who's had a very bad skiing accident from head to toe. So for a while, we kind of feel safe inside that paper mache suit of armor, right? No one's seeing the real us. But eventually we grow tired and feel restricted because we get bigger and we grow within that where that paper mache prison becomes too small for us and we can't take it anymore. And we start ripping off chunks of dried paper mache and we find freedom. It's like that saying from Rumi that says something along the lines of, we don't need to find capital L love. We only need to remove the obstacles that we have created between it and us. So tools for connecting with ethereal energy. Like the quests, all the tools that we mentioned in the last 4 quest videos, all at their core help connect us to the higher ethereal energy. Everything and everyone points us back inward and upward for that which truly fills us up. Sure, we can bring the ethereal into the physical realm, or rather move the energy through the physical realm through ethereal channels like Reiki, energy work, through touch, connection with the chakras and aura, channeling messages expressed as spoken or written word. But all of that comes after we've reconnected to the higher realms in significant ways and cleared our pipelines of lower vibrational energies, beliefs, emotions, and even physical possessions. We are not under any pressure, any true pressure, to be anything but who we are in the moment. We are perfect in spirit's sight. Our trouble starts when humans start punishing or praising us, right? Then we fear we'll be punished more or lose our praise, so we begin jumping through the hoops and becoming a performing dog for others, right? And when we're ready, we set ourselves free and we remove the flea collar because we don't need that anymore. So I love that we're never alone on our adventure. And as these human characters, even when we don't have physical beings around us, we are surrounded by a great host of beings of unconditional love and light who want to help us in any way that we ask of them. They never sleep. They never are away from us at all. And some of the members of this amazing posse of support are our elemental spirit guides. I've talked a bunch about elemental spirit guides in all the previous 4 quest videos, so if you haven't watched those, again, I encourage you to do so. Links are in the quest playlist down listed in the description box of the video, and the playlist will be linked at the end of this video. Now, I met all my spiritual guides, the elemental spirit guides, first, all at the same time, the 4 of them. But up until earlier this year, I hadn't asked my guardian angel about themselves. Kind of felt bad, right? But there's this familiarity there where they do feel very much a part of who I am. So in a way, it kind of be like asking my higher self what their name is, right? Which I have not done, at least yet. But the easiest way to meet your guardian angel, your ethereal spirit guide, is to ask. Just ask. I had a really bad headache one night, and I thought maybe I was going to die in my sleep. I know. I wasn't seriously thinking it was going to happen, but it did come across my throbbing brain. And the next night, I was feeling much better, and before falling asleep, that's when I asked them their name. And they told me, you, M-E dash the letter U, meaning me and you, we are one. I was like, oh, that felt amazing. Now, they also shared with me that their name changes from lifetime to lifetime, depending on what would resonate with the human character that I'm experiencing in that lifetime, right? Humanity is one of the few species that wants to name things and people. Many species on other planets, across other dimensions, every place, they're very intuitive to the point where energy identifies things and others. And we know what each of us is wanting because if there was speech, what we're talking about as we make an utterance, they know what we're meaning. So hopefully that makes sense. It's very intuitive. It's very energetic, not really names, verbal names. So that was interesting. And then after I asked them their name and they shared that with me, I asked them if, hey, if you could you visit me in my dream tonight? And I forgot about that and I, went to sleep. But I had a very interesting dream where I was standing with my brother somewhere and we were talking about stuff and then these giant light bubbles appeared in front of both of us and I knew, oh, I need to get inside of this. So I got inside of the bubble and it closed up and then whoosh, we went off. And my brother went somewhere else, but inside my bubble, I felt a presence and it was like, let's go to the moon. And so we went to the moon and we even flew around it. We did like one lap around the moon and then we flew back down to Earth. And then we moved across the ocean to Hawaii, where my dad currently lives. And I saw their house. And I was looking and seeing them because the front walls and the window were all transparent, where I could see them as if they didn't exist there. And my dad could sense that I was there, but he couldn't see me. But my stepmom, she could see me, and she came over and hugged me. And then when she hugged me, my dad could see me, and then he hugged me too. And then I said my farewells. I got back in the bubble and flew back to the mainland. And it wasn't until later, the next day, when I remembered, or I think rather, my guardian angel, he reminded me of my request. I was like, oh, that was you. And it was an amazing experience because I just felt love the entire time. And then love was expressed, the whole time too, with other people. So I really like that, experience and, maybe that's an idea of what you can do as well. Now, as I mentioned earlier, now I'm channeling through automatic writing, and one of the beings I channel regularly is my guardian angel. In fact, I'd like to close out this video by sharing an additional message I channeled from them this very morning. I shared one channeling earlier when I started to work on this information for this video, and yeah, I've been kind of going at it here and there. It's been taking me like a week in between things. So how fitting is it that they came to me this morning too, as I'm finishing up preparing to record this video. So here it goes. This is the channeling from April 24th of 2025. And again, I had just asked them what they would like me to know right now. And his answer was, I got you, little one. You are never alone. We are always with you, guiding, protecting, providing for your highest experience. If you want to know what you can do to make your path the most full of love, the most full of joy, the most full of laughter and smiles, the most full of peace and gratitude, just ask us. We'll tell you and show you what your human character can do to make your life easier and help us help you. And they laughed. Being aware of who you really are is one of the biggest ways to not get caught up in that chaos of the world. As a human character, you can become distracted or consumed by the fear of what others might think of you and your actions, non-actions, your words, or silence. Remembering that you are a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love lets you see this lifetime from a much broader and higher point of view. As you connect and remember the many lifetimes and expressions of who you have been, are, will be, they put it all together, have been dash are dash will be, for this all happens simultaneously from a higher perspective out of time and space. And when you experience that, they said that it all that happens together at the same time, mostly in chunks. I go into that in one of the other videos. But this also allows you to see this life as more than the dash in between birth and death on a tombstone. We embrace you every moment with our love, your higher self and selves, myself, angels, ancestors, loved ones, fairies, your elemental spirit guides, unicorns, dragon beings, collectives, so many beings of light and unconditional love. We love you. We love you. We love you. Well, I just love their messages and all those that communicate from the other side. There's just always so much love. So when you're ready, reach out to your guardian angel and just ask to meet them. You've met them many times before in other forms, and you can do it all over again in a unique way from this human character's perspective. There is no wrong way. Just follow your heart and see where it leads you. I do cover more element information each month through my full moon, new moon, and sun readings, my Zen Gate readings, my weekly Zen Byte videos, and also the yearly energy forecast for each individual zodiac sign, as well as the quarterly solstice and equinox readings by element. There are links to all of these playlists listed in the description box of the video down below. Some of them will even appear at the end of the video. If you're drawn to check any of them out, you can just click on that playlist link. So that's it for this month's quest into the ethereal energetic realm. And if you so choose to accept a quest, see what stood out to you in this video, and let that be your personal quest until our next quest video, where we'll continue to expand our adventure in June, chatting about ritual and how to make mindfulness a habit. I'm really super excited. So let me know if you have any questions or share any inspirations, observations, or knowledge that you'd like to share with all the Zen friends. You can comment on this video, or if you'd prefer something more private, you can always email me at brettazen@gmail.com. I'm so glad we're on this adventure together in this lifetime, and remember, we're never alone. We are eternally and unconditionally loved by a great host of beings of unconditional love and light, and of course, I love you too. So until we meet again, much love to you, and enjoy your adventure.